My name is Godfrey Mashamba. I am from the Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation in the South African government. The Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation is located at the center of government within the presidency. It coordinates planning across government. We also monitor implementation of government programs and evaluate to see if they are making a difference in society. To strengthen monitoring and evaluation, we do have frameworks that have been developed as a department, DPME, that guides the whole of government how to be more systematic and organized in monitoring implementation of government programs, but also the National Evaluation Policy Framework, which we are currently reviewing and updating to make sure that it stays relevant. In that framework, we set standards for evaluation that everyone across government would do. But what we have seen is that this framework is not only applicable to us here in South Africa, because the feedback we got is that it's found to be very useful also in other countries, both in the continent and outside of the African continent. Yeah, DPME convenes the National Evaluation Seminar in South Africa every 2 years. We do it as a way of facilitating networking, but also exchange of knowledge on what is actually taking place, experiences, but also best practices amongst the actors in the system. But this year's focus has been to try and build new partnerships while also strengthening the existing partnerships across government, with universities, with development institutions like the Development Bank of South Africa and international development organizations such as the BRICS New Development Bank and the European Development Bank. So we use this opportunity to strengthen those kind of ties. But then again, looking at the specific takeaways from this, firstly, DPME has signed a memorandum of understanding with the BRICS New Development Bank, their independent evaluation office, so that we formalize the kind of collaboration that we've been having with them for a number of years. And this year they showcased their most recent evaluation that they did on the NDB funded projects in South Africa, which has been a big feature in the hosting of this seminar. So the second big takeaway is the appreciation that there is policy reforms in the local government sphere with the drafting of the white paper on local government in South Africa. So we use the seminar as an opportunity to reflect on what are the opportunities for strengthening evidence use in local government, for the local government to do what it has to do as part of strengthening capacity of the state to deliver on its mandate. So the third issue that I can actually highlight is that as we are developing the new National Evaluation Policy Framework, we have drafted now the 2025 National Evaluation Policy Framework. So we use this seminar as an opportunity to engage on some of the principles that are emerging from that process with the various set of stakeholders for whom we are going to capture all this information and use it to finalize the NEPF 2025. For the fact that this seminar takes place on the sidelines of the G20 in the same week where this weekend, South Africa, this week actually is already a build-up of a series of activities towards the Leaders Summit over the weekend. We have used this seminar to highlight the importance of evidence use in policy making. So it's very, very important. And the fact that the DPME, the Minister of DPME led the Development Working Group, which has been one of the four front runners in terms of the different working streams in presenting its final recommendations for the G20. So we have had a number of partner institutions that have come in handy in making sure that both the planning and the execution of this seminar is successful. Twendembele, which is our partner organization that promotes peer learning across African continent on M&E in government. They came in very useful in terms of the content that they brought. We have the new development bank of the BRICS, who we have actually completed an MOU with them, but also they provided a whole lot of content in terms of the example of an evaluation that they have undertaken in the energy sector project, energy sector in South Africa. Then we have Development Bank of South Africa, who also have contributed immensely to the content. I remember in one of the sessions we reflected about the space that they occupy between infrastructure development projects in the country, in the region, but also connecting South Africa with the multinational, multilateral financial institutions such as the NDB and the World Bank and the others. I must thank also the Metro Learning Network, whom I was over lunch having a discussion with them about what we can do together to develop execution plan for the new national evaluation policy framework, to customize to tailor-make some of the approaches to the metros around the country. Would also like to thank Clear AA, Anglophone Africa, who have been partners in the organizing and delivery of this seminar. They have made a contribution by bringing delegation from Nigeria who are considering joining Twendembele platform to promote peer learning with the rest of the other countries that are members already. And lastly, JET Education Services, we thank them for their contribution to the seminar.